In today's video, we are doing an analysis on the weekly chart that no one has discussed yet. This analysis is of utmost significance as it not only will help you plan and prepare for what is going to happen next, but give you an insight on Bitcoin's next moves. We'll also be going over the daily, the short-term price action, and the total market caps in today's video. Let's dive on in. Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having an amazing day today. In today's video, we are taking a look at the weekly charts, the daily price action, the short-term price action, and of course, the total cryptocurrency market and altcoin market cap. We'll also briefly jump into Bitcoin dominance, the market data, and everything else you need to know about what is happening and what to expect. Before we do get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos of Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. That is the kind of content you are interested in. Join us on Telegram. It is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. If you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, join us over in VIP with nearly 700 members. We post trading setups with exact entry prices, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. Every single trade is detailed and specific. It is easy to follow, and of course, you have all of the support required to actually follow these trades. Alongside that, VIP is much more than just a trading setup channel. It is an educational channel. You'll get access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chat, education chat, our news, our daily video, our help, and our trade setup chat. Again, if you are interested, contact me in the pinned comment of the free channel by clicking my name or these links for more information. There is quite literally no other channel out there with the consistent win rate where you have 81.16% over 1,062 live trades of exact entries, targets, and stop losses over 39 months of data. Check it out, guys, and we'll see you in there. Let's jump into the video. So starting on that market data, taking a look, 24-hour volume down 22%. It's been a very boring week in cryptocurrency as Bitcoin has pretty much done nothing. Just going sideways, retested a midline, but not really too much volatility or price action developing. 24-hour liquidations down 23%, sitting at 79 million. Of the 79 million in liquidations, 51 million liquidations have come from long positions and 27 million have come from short positions. Again, taking a look at Bitcoin's price action, really not too much happening over the past 7 days. We have moved from these lows of around 56.9 to 57,000 up to the high range of around 61,600, which happens to be that major macro midline of the descending channel formation, marking the 7th retest and rejection from that point over the last 19 days. So over the past week, we haven't seen too much besides Bitcoin crawl upwards very steadily towards that range high point. We're still waiting for a break above that channel midline and the 200 SMA to see that directional continuation much higher. We'll come back and discuss much more in the short-term analysis today. Moving over to the DXY. The DXY did find a little bit of support at this base area of around 101. Again, this was a high time frame weekly level of support, which marked the prior region of which we did see a bounce from. So again, this area is going to be a local support, but we are now very much underneath this yearly uptrend. So we are now in this downtrending formation, having broken down from that yearly uptrend. A very bearish sign here for the DXY, and it is unlikely going to see any strong continuations higher unless we are able to reclaim this red line, that prior sell side liquidity. Until then, we are expecting continuations lower into our range low at around that July 2023 low, provided this region acts as resistance. So we could see a rally back upwards, rejection, and then continuation down. That is what we're kind of expecting moving forward. Moving over to the S&P 500. we can see on that weekly, we have come pretty close to retesting that prior high, a couple $100 shy of that point. Overall, still looking very decent on the weekly, provided we remain above this 5,300 support level. We are expecting continuations upwards to 6,000. It is only if we drop below that 5,300 support would we run the risk of seeing an extended correction underneath the 50 EMA and potentially into our prior high points of around 4,800, 4,900. So that would result in a high time frame downtrend if we were to see a loss of 5,300. That is it, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. Now, before we do, if you are interested in 15 to 45% off your trading fees, depending on your trading volume, sign up with my links down below. BitGet, BitUnix, or BitUnix. Support the channel, support me, support the content, and support yourself by grabbing that 15% discount. It will save you $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 plus in the long run. It has saved me well over 6 figures in trading fees. Check it out, guys, or play the ad, and we'll get back into a video. I'd like to introduce our partner, BitUnix. BitUnix is a global, non-KYC, no country restriction exchange, making it a perfect exchange to trade on if you're from the USA, from Canada, the Netherlands, or just prefer to trade without KYC. This exchange is a futures and spot exchange with over 200 different trading pairs, and some of the lowest fees in the game. If you sign up with my link down below, you'll get access to 15% off your trading fees, as well as an exclusive reward center where you can claim up to a multitude in USDT prizes. So go ahead and sign up with my link down below for 15% off, and I'll see you in there. Okay team, let's go ahead and get stuck into it, and I figured today we're going to start on the weekly chart, taking a look at the key high time frame levels of support, resistance, structural consolidations, and technical levels we are watching moving forward. And the first level I do want to drag your attention to is going to be that RSI downtrend. So we can see two specific trend lines on the RSI. We have our bearish trigger, which is going to be our horizontal low, which is represented as this horizontal trend line, marking the low created on the 4th of September 2023, which lines up with our low point of this horizontal consolidation before the eventual continuation upwards. That is going to be our first point I want you to mark out in your head. And the second point is going to be our downtrending diagonal resistance, which is a representation of the momentum in price action since we initiated the start of this downtrend, the range high, the downtrend, this downtrend that we have been in for now 5 months is a representation now of this RSI downtrend. So we have our downtrending momentum while the price action has been in a downtrend, while we are sitting above this RSI low marked out by that September 2023 low point. So these are very, very important levels, and these act as both bullish and bearish triggers. Let's talk about this low point first. This is going to be our horizontal base of support, which also acts as a bearish trigger point. Meaning, while we sustain above this region, we, in regards to momentum, have more strength here at this particular price point than we did at this particular price point. This indicates that during the period between September 2023 and August 2024, we have seen overall strength increase, and we have seen momentum generally increase as a consequence of the RSI being higher as opposed to where it was during this time. This is a good indication. This is a healthy indication. This is an indication that the uptrend we have still is maintaining its strength. If we were to see the RSI drop below this level, that would tell us that we have flipped that narrative. We have now more weakness at this price point in comparison to what we had at this point, which would indicate a potential correction is brewing or likely to occur. That would result in a retracement, possibly back below our prior structural support, even into that major high time frame support level. Essentially, if we drop below this RSI point, it will be hinting towards a high time frame downtrend developing, which would invalidate the bullish structure, which is a descending channel formation we have been consolidating in for the past 5 months. A very critical level we need to be paying attention two on the weekly that we haven't discussed yet on this channel. The next one is going to be this downtrend, and of course the downtrend has utmost significance, as of course if a break occurs of this downtrend, this would signify that the momentum which has been developing, which has been moving downwards during the course of the last 5 months while Bitcoin has been consolidating within this channel, has finally flipped positive on the weekly. We have not yet seen a positive weekly momentum shift yet occur during this entire 5-month period, which could result in a directional continuation. As we know, price action follows momentum. Okay, momentum precedes price action. If we see that RSI break upwards, we are very, very likely going to see that price action follow suit to at least retest the range high of this consolidation. Will it break out? Maybe. But if we do see the break on the RSI, that will at least result in a retest of the downtrend and consolidation. Those are the two technical levels I really want you to pay attention to and mark on your charts and focus on, because these are levels I'm going to be paying massive attention to in regards to our structural and technical levels on the weekly chart. If we take a look at this consolidation, we do have again our measured move from the point 1 to point 2, apply that to a perceived breakout point. We can see that takes us almost perfectly to retest that diagonal resistance formed from the two peaks, the pi cycle peak and the true top peak of the 2021 highs. We can see we come very, very close into that range. So we are expecting, if we break through this high point of the descending channel formation, we could facilitate a move into that high $80,000 region to possibly come up and retest this point where we could potentially create a top for Bitcoin. That is also what we're watching out for. So structurally, we have a bullish pattern. Technically, we have got our bearish validation, we have got our bullish trigger point, and we've got a possible point of macro resistance we are watching out for if retested. Looking on the downside, if we look at our horizontal structural levels, we have got a very important level marked out by the price points between 47,000 and 49,000. We can see we've actually come down and retested this region perfectly on that prior correction. In fact, we marked out on this correction literally at the bottom. We told you guys this was the bottom on Twitter. We said bottoms in, and we saw a strong continuation upwards. If we ever were to drop below this level, we would open up this entire range between 47 to 32,000 as a possible range of movement, facilitating that high time frame downtrend we just discussed. So let's go ahead, guys, and jump over to the daily chart now. Daily chart looking very similar. We are still in this consolidation range. We are definitely needing to see the breakout of that dotted trend line right over here to facilitate a directional continuation into that range high region. Once more, a daily candle close over that dotted trend line should be adequate as per what we have seen in this instance right over here. Let's go ahead and circle it. Instance 1, instance 2, to facilitate those directional continuations into the range high of this consolidation range. So therefore, we are waiting for a daily candle to validate that directional continuation. Looking at the downside, we still do have the downside risk while we sustain below that trend line, this trend line being a bullish trigger point, and therefore, while we remain under this trigger point, we do run the risk of further corrections. We'll discuss that in the short term in just a moment. However, we do have to be aware that even if we see a correction back downwards, provided that range low, as downtrending support level is able to sustain a support, we are very likely only going to see it as a range low sweep before a continuation, rather than confirmation of a directional continuation and break of the structural support level, thus entering a high time frame downtrend until proven otherwise. For us to invalidate this structure and see that directional continuation to a high time frame downtrend, we would as a consequence need to see that weekly RSI, as we just discussed, break downwards on that horizontal level. We need to see a breakdown over here, as well as we would need to see a daily candle close below the structural diagonal support level, which we have not seen before. I do not think this is a likely scenario. I personally do believe, and we'll get into it in a second, that we are more likely to see directional continuation upwards, and we'll discuss that in just a moment. Let's jump over to the short-term price action. This is our short-term charts. A lot of different structures have developed. We've seen triangles, we've seen wedges, we have now seen horizontals, we have seen a lot of structural shifting occur. And structural shifting is essentially, as the price action develops, the structure of which the price action is moving in starts to change. It starts to mold into a new pattern, a new structure. It is pretty normal to see during these chop zones, but it does appear like we have now developed what we would call a horizontal consolidation, and this is going to be the ideal pattern to have developed within this range, as it is a very clearly identifiable trading range for our sweeps to the low or the high side. If we take a look at this consolidation, we can see we've got our resistance on the top side. This lines up perfectly with the midline. At the moment, the midline is sitting exactly at 61,600, which lines up perfectly with this prior rejection. So we know the range high of this consolidation is the midline on that daily chart. What else do we know? We know that we have a RSI high as represented by the first rejection. Okay, and this extends horizontally across. What we can see is since that rejection, the price action has been consolidating sideways in this range, and the RSI has not been able to break through. Okay, not being able to break through the respective high of the retest as well as the low of the retest. So we've got a confirmed range of momentum over here developing as well. This is very handy for us because if we do see breaks of the upside or the low side, that could front run directional continuations or the price breaking the range high or breaking the range low. So let's discuss. If we see a breakdown of the lower range over here of the price range, we will see a directional continuation to our support region. It is simple as that. We don't need to overcomplicate it. 4-hour close below this region, likely see a continuation downwards. 4-hour close above this region, likely see a continuation upwards. And for our daily, we need a daily candle close above the trend line as per what we have seen historically to validate a directional continuation higher. That is it for Bitcoin. Thanks for tuning in. Let's jump into the rest of the analysis. So jumping over to the total. The total over here, and this is going to be the total market cap. This is a carbon cutout copy of the Bitcoin daily chart. You can see that we are retesting that peak in the VRPV, about to drop into that valley. Again, a good indication of potential volatility loading for the market if we're able to break through that trend line, which is very likely. Another retest of the trend line as what we are seeing on that daily chart for Bitcoin. Again, a carbon copy of the chart. We also do have that descending channel formation with an expectation of an eventual break upwards to continue into this prior high point. We are expecting a retest of 3 trillion if we do break through this descending channel formation. The altcoin market is looking quite similar. We do have very, very key levels on the weekly chart I want to discuss, and there's primarily one important level. We can get rid of these curved lines over here for a second. There is really just one level on the altcoin chart that the altcoin market needs to remain above, and this is going to be the bear market level. This green line separates the bear market from the bull market. Okay, this is going to be bear market, this is going to be bull market. Yes, the altcoin market is above its bear market resistance. We are not in a bull market, we've been in a massive downtrend now for a long time, but we are above the bear market resistance, now a support level. So provided we remain above the support, we are expecting eventual continuation upwards for altcoins. How long will that take? It is unlikely to occur until Bitcoin dominance actually breaks downwards, which we can see. We are seeing a little bit of a move downwards here, but Bitcoin dominance already at resistance, which is a good indication. And we are seeing that total market cap potentially getting prepared for a move upwards, which will be a good indication for altcoins to begin to rally. However, if at any point in the future we do lose the support level, that is game over. Game over for altcoins. Okay, that is it. That is the death of altcoins. If they drop below that level, they will very much go to brand new lows. Some altcoins will pretty much never recover from those corrections if that does occur. So for altcoins, we have this downtrend. We want to break out the downtrend. We'll see a continuation upwards. Overall, looking optimistic. Not looking incredibly confident, but looking optimistic for now. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you on Sunday for our next video. Catch you then.